Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised.
Hey campers, my name's Kimmy and I'm here with my co-host Ryan.
Howdy ho! Welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast, where we tell you the history and stories of different legends and lore from around the world.
Well, howdy ho! What did you find Aloreing this week?
Well, there's been a lot of things that have happened this week. I got a haircut, which was nice. Thank you. I got some family members with birthdays this week. The monarchy's been mixed up a little bit. There's been all sorts of stuff happening. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy week.
This is when I interject. Because I need you all to understand that Ryan and I have a very, very chaotic message stream going where he sends me memes of news updates that are happening.
Yeah.
Because typically I am up to date. And me and my sweet boy were driving up to go to the canyon and eat. And on the way up, I get the message from Ryan. Now, do we or do we not celebrate another monarchy down? And I did not know that the Queen of England died. And this is how I found out. So, and it was preceded by many Queen of England memes.
R.I.P. It was a wild day. TikTok went down on the most important news day in a while.
Oh, and the other news you told me is it's also Bernie Sanders' birthday. Yeah. So happy birthday.
Yeah. Shout out Bernie. Happy birthday. Just a crazy day.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Listen.
Football started again. I know nothing to do with anything else, but it's just all sorts of stuff is going on today.
We got football, we got the fall of the monarchy, and we got good old Bernie's birthday.
Bernie's another year older.
another year older into this hellscape of capitalism we call America.
Yep.
How beautiful.
There's a YouTuber, gonna hold my opinion on them, but named Trisha Paytas, who gave birth right after the queen died. So now there's like Twitter conspiracies that are like the queen's not dead, she's just transcended into a different body. And man, what a day to
Is
be
that
on the internet.
is that like immediate karma in its own way for killing her own daughter?
Possibly.
In law? Maybe that's instead of going to hell, Satan was like,
Yeah,
I got a plan for
to
you.
stay.
Yeah. Him and God were like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Until she
Let's
becomes a queen again, and then we're in trouble.
yeah, give it a few years,
Yeah.
and that's going to last till the next millennial.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my Aloreing thing. Is it's just been one of the craziest days ever.
Man, it's weird.
Yeah. What did you find Aloreing this week or today?
Oh, Jesus, yeah. I don't know. Today has been fucking wild. I spent. You should be proud. Listen, I love baking, but I love easy baking. Okay, I love baking where I make the cake, make the Rice Krispie, throw it in, sprinkle it a little,
Yep.
and we're done.
Amen.
I love that baking. I do not like intricate. Do this, cool it. Do this, heat it. Do this, dance around a moon in the sun on a summer night. Kind of. I don't like that. And I was making these like chocolate covered frogs from from Harry Potter for the party, and I can't have chocolate because God was like, not for you. So
so sad.
I know. So I made I used like green vanilla melt.
Okay.
That pretty much tastes the same thing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people can't tell. And I did like a carrot cake with like cream cheese frosting cake pop with it. Delicioso. But the amount of work that went into those damn things, I would never make it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want to do it two-tone colors. So there's like some lime green and then there's some like dark green. They look awesome, but God.
Yeah. Carrot cake's hard too. Like
yeah, I learned that as well. I learned a lot of things.
Yeah, my mom makes a carrot cake. She made one this week actually, funny enough, because it's a family member's birthday. But her recipe card is like from my like great grandma, so it's like this like tattered like brown
No.
yeah.
It's holding on by the masking tape.
But straight up like
grandmother.
yeah, oh my goodness, it straight up takes like she did it on Monday because she had a day off. It took the entire day for a cake. It's crazy.
No.
I don't know how you guys do that. Like
I don't know how. I think I got halfway through and it was just I had to finish it. That's just like my personality. Like I feel some people can be like, this isn't working out and can walk away from it. And I don't know if it's because I have a Capricorn moon or I'm just a very prideful human being, but I was like, I am going to succeed at this.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 at night and I get old lady tired and I was still doing this. I was like, I can eat frogs. I was like so mad doing it. But I don't know. I guess my Aloreing thing is I made cool frog cake pop things that taste delicious. I'll post pictures on our Discord.
Nice.
But it was something unexpected that I am quite proud of.
Yeah.
So
you want to know something really fun? Is I forgot to move the slides.
No, they're good. Did you change it?
I just forgot to like upload them, but I have a plan.
Can you see the presentation here?
That's what we're gonna try.
We'll find out. Yay for live streams, everybody.
Yep. I was like, I know I'm forgetting to do something, but what is it? And now I know.
Listen, the thing is, if this does work, this means I can make you a little animation for modern takes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that would be nice.
I
have a plan. I have a plan. This is going to work right here.
You can go across the screen. You can make that sound. Like the creepy sound of legs on the wall. Like
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
please hold
so maybe we'll figure out.
Just like half a second here.
While he's
So that's
figuring
gonna
that
go
out, I hope
there.
you live stream people are having a most wonderful, chaotic Thursday, or whatever day you are listening to it. I can see
Ew.
all your computer secrets.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I closed everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good because
Look at that. Boom.
I gotta be a little bit more
Bada boom.
cautious. Oh.
Bada boom.
Oh.
Bada boom.
Oh, bada boom.
And a bada boom. Bam.
Oh, that white thing's gonna drive me crazy.
No, that's fine. Watch. Boom. It's gone.
Oh. Chef's
Boom.
kiss. Guys would have never even known.
Nope.
I can't believe we just did that.
Professional. Boom. Okay. We're back.
Whoa. Yeah.
All right. So I guess with that smooth transition, shall we jump into the show?
Yeah. I think I would say something unexpected and fun. we could transition. You know what else?
Yeah. You know what else is unexpected and fun is this week's cryptid.
Ooh.
All right. I'm so unprepared this week. We would get rides when we would act up in the back seat. They would tell us to shut the hell up, or they'll dump us on the Fletchertown Road, and the Goatman will get us. That's messed up. Kimmy, what are we talking about?
So, is it a goat? Is it a man? No, wait. It's both. Well, if you're traveling near Fletchertown and Lotsford Road in Maryland, you may see this creature for yourself. This week's tale combines cryptozoology, folklore, and good old spooky urban legends. And then we have our beautiful image. Da, 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 da. And it's really interesting because I drew this based off the stories, and I feel like researching went a completely different direction, and you will soon see. So this week we will be talking about the terrifying Goatman, a cryptid that became famous legend amongst young lovers and bored teens that wish to see something spooky outside of their everyday lives. This creature has been spotted throughout the U.S. and is known to be seen mostly in Louisiana, Kentucky, Texas, and Maryland. It first became popular around the 1970s and is still used to scare teens into not going out into the forest late at night to this very day. So,
This is one of my favorite bottles you've made so far. That's
really?
cute. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I forever ago when I was first doing test runs for this show, this was the very first story I did. And it's like knowing how to research now compared to then, it went from a page and a half of notes to 14.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot, but that's the face from the original drawing I did because I just thought it was so cute.
Yeah, because I do remember the original bottle. But yeah, the little like broken heart cap. Yeah. Very, very good, Kimmy.
Oh, thank you. Keep that in mind because we're going to get into some interesting topics.
Love it.
So this week we're going to talk about the Goatman, specifically the one in the U.S. But legends of half Goatman creatures have been around for much, much longer. So here's a painting. Process it, digest it. If you are on YouTube, you'll be able to see all these lovely artwork pieces and pictures we share with each other. So come check it out.
That is that's something.
Yeah, so honestly, I could do a whole episode just about this painting, but the art history girl in me has held back for the sake of this episode. So, in Greek mythology, the Goatman was seen as a mythological archetype representing both primal nature and untamed sexuality.
Nice.
The precursor is you're going to look at Narnia a whole lot differently after what I'm about to tell you. You're like, didn't need this episode for that, but
yeah.
thanks. So there are two different versions of them, and though both are half human and half goat in appearance, there are some differences. So Pan, which is the god of nature, fertility, sexuality, and hunting, was known as both the hunter and the pursuer. Regarding sexuality, he had a primal lust that he could never fulfill due to his goat like nature. He was a protector of the wilderness and would be very violent and attack those who passed without warning. Many ancient Greek shepherds believed when their herd would suddenly scatter in fear, it's because Pan was frightened. Hence, that's where we get the word panic from.
Oh, we did an episode where I talked about Pan with like the pan flute. What? What's the creature that turns into sticks?
Druids?
Huh? Yeah,
Druids. Yeah.
that sounds
That's
right.
so this has connections to druids.
Okay.
1,000%. Um I'll read these two and I'll tell you what the biggest takeaway from it is.
Oh boy.
So the next one is the Dionysus, which is another Greek god that was also referred to as he of the black goats, or the nocturnal one.
I believe
Like
that's
Pan,
Dionysus.
I even wrote it out.
Did.
Dionysus.
Dionysus. Yeah.
Dionysus. Lord. Dionysus. I just
Italian
have to
for a second.
say it. When I say it with passion, that's when that happens. So, like Pan, he also represents fertility, but he was also known to represent intoxication,
Nice.
ecstasy, and
Nice.
to have a dark side to him.
Nice.
So he would come off as light-hearted, but at the flip of the switch, he would become savage, destructive force of nature. So because of this, the cults who worshipped him were known as frenzied dances, drunken orgies, and acts of, I can't say this right, sparagamos, which is a ritual sacrifice where animals, specifically goats, were mingled and eaten raw. So became a cult icon. That's the main thing. And then there was also Satyrs, and these were 21 spirits that served both Pan and, I said it wrong,
Dionysus.
Dionysus. And they are very similar both appearance-wise and personality-wise. They were wild, drunk, and thirsty. If you know what I mean.
Heyo.
I hate that I wrote that in my show notes.
Yeah.
I hate that I had to clarify.
You know what I mean.
Oh, I must have been in a different headspace when I Oh, so they were thirsty, wink wink, and would roam the forest to procreate with mortal women. Pretty much, Goatmen were like ridiculously horny creatures.
I mean, look at their heads.
And then of course I made the mistake of Googling Goatmen in Google Images, and I was disappointed by the internet yet again.
How many pages did you get in this time?
I went down a scroll,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't need to see the things that were done to goats.
Yeah.
That were done to goats.
I was telling Kimmy the other day, my new favorite hobby is whenever we're doing an episode is I like to see how many Google pages it takes for it to turn into like just not safe for work or like fanfic or just straight you know what I'm talking about.
Can I point something out with that real quick?
Huh.
It's always cryptids, because
Yeah.
we'll read stories about beautiful folklore women, and
Nothing.
I feel like you really have to search. But cryptids, it's like
Instantly.
the third one.
Dogmen
Easy.
was the first image. The first image. Anyway, you were saying?
Anyway, back on topic. So, legends of the Goatmen span across many different cultures around the world. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly where the North American Goatman legend comes from, though it is safe to say there are a lot of ties with Greek mythology. So here are different versions of them from around the world I found that are very, very similar. Because I think it's just kind of cool to like point these out. So there's Ptah, a fertility god from ancient Egypt, was worshipped by the people of Mendes. With the head of a goat and a body of a human, male goats were considered holy to this mysterious cult, and woman worshippers would, oh, wow, they would, with the goats in public for fertility rituals. So, wow. Yeah, I forgot how
Goatmen are freaky.
they are. Listen, apparently it's a big thing. Like, I I remember reading it and reading over these notes, and I'm like, there's a lot to do with sexuality in these. And now that I'm reading them aloud, I realize how much I just kind of like skimmed over and just kind of like put on the back burner of my brain, I guess. So, well, we're on this journey together, everybody. So thanks for joining us. Okay, so the next one is Ne Gamesa, which is a fertility god from the ancient Indian subregion of Kumara. This half man, half goat creature was known to help grant sons to infertile women and was feared as a demon and abducted injured children.
Don't twist your ankle, kids.
Oh, yeah. Don't step on a crack because
Yeah.
if you break your mom's back and twist your ankle,
GG's.
this guy's gonna get you.
Yeah, Goatman's coming.
Goatman's coming. Can that be that episode title?
Yeah, just Goatman's coming.
Woo! Okay. Just figure it out right at the top. So, Veles was a horned natural god of Slavic paganism. He was the master of the forest and presided over the souls of wild animals that were killed by hunters. Much like the goat man, this god eventually became identical and identified. Oh, not identical. Much like the goat man, this god eventually became identified with the devil due to its horns and being a trickster god. So that one's not as sexy, but
well,
it's the other side of him, right?
Yeah.
Because there's like two sides we'll get into. And the next one is Yang Jing, a goat-like nature god from Chinese folklore. He ruled over some mountain regions, and peasants would often make sacrifices to him to protect their livestock and harvest against predators. He was also worshipped as a fertility god. So, though these legends are all slightly different, they do have a very, very strong connection with fertility. So, because of the goat man's reproductive prowess, it has been seen as a symbol of sexual potency, stamina, and creative energy in many cultures and for centuries. Sexuality was often intercoursed with nature, so too was the goat. Goat gods were seen as wild, chaotic, dangerous sides of the natural world. You need a minute?
You said.
Oh no.
You said sexuality was often intercoursed with nature.
I meant interconnected, you guys.
Kimmy's got some other stuff on her mind reading about the goat man.
Really? Woo. Interconnected, intercourse. Everything connects. So these creatures were pretty much a chaotic, sexy symbol for centuries. But times be changing, and the legend of the goatman that roamed the U.S. were less sexy and more ominous.
I always find it so interesting when so many different cultures, like, from such drastically different places that probably, like, never would have overlapped until, like, much, much later, have, like, the same, like, the same folklore, because that makes you think, like, how, you know?
Right.
Unless it's true.
Well, apparently there's a lot of goatmen fucking in the forest, so
Yeah,
that's...
worldwide.
There was a phenomenon for a while.
They're the original Mr. Worldwide.
I can't. Oh, I can't. Well, like, and it's interesting because I feel you can see the moment. Like, that's why we do our Christianity or science segment, because you can see the moment that completely shifts a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it completely changes it from being like a sex figure or a guardian or protector to a devil or demon or something very dark and malicious. So I always just think that's super interesting to, like,
at
I
some
love that
point
shift.
goats became the devil. Like,
Yeah. At some point. Well,
yeah.
time for this next one. Okay, so the American Goatman. So I want to start with Native American lore. Um, ah, it like stresses me out because it like does scare me a lot. So many legends of ominous goatmen are connected to Native American folklore in Maryland. It is said that the I want to say this wrong. Puskachue? Puka I think that was
You got
right.
it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the tribe once worshipped and feared Oki, a shape shifting spirit described as a monstrous looking devil who roamed the dense forest. Some believe this could be the origin of the Goatman of Prince George County. So that's something kind of spooky to think about. This one, we're gonna talk about real fast because I really don't like it. So, but it's important to touch on. So there is also a goat-like skinwalker that is mentioned in Kichon native legend that has been used by generations of parents to scare children into not wandering around the reservation after nightfall. So this is another possibility of what the goatmen can come from, and I honestly believe these have stronger connections than the mythology one, but there
Mm-hmm.
is still little ties, and we'll get more into it. So, overall, there are a lot of Goatman legends out there, and for this episode, we'll be focusing on the one found in the in the old US of A. There are different legends associated with different states, but what I believe could be the closest origins to the US Goatman supposedly dates back to the mid 19th century. Oh, sorry, hiccup. So, this tale comes from Washington County, Wisconsin. A Civil War veteran was traveling with his new bride in a horse drawn wagon along the desolated Hogsback Road with an axle broke. He left his companion with the wagon while he went off for help. After hours of waiting, the bride was startled by the sound of something sniffling and growling outside the wagon. She peeped out and was terror stricken to see a dark, hairy creature with the body and head of a goat, but walking upright like a man. Girl was smart, so she hid in the wagon until the monster appeared to be gone and then ran off in the direction of her husband. She followed the footprints through the mud until she eventually came across his bloodied body hanging from a tree
Oh my
surrounded
god.
by hoof prints. Ever since then, it is said the Goatman preys on helpless drivers who get stranded on the Hogsbag Road, and they're never to be seen again.
Bum, bum, bum.
So it doesn't say that's where the Goatman's from, but that's like the old tale
That's where he's
of the
at now.
Goatman. Yeah. So woo. And then so before I hand it off to Ryan, for my word section, you have probably figured out that the Goatman is a half goat, half man.
What?
And if so, give yourself a pat on the back, put a little gold star on your forehead, any way to kind of congratulate yourself. Um, because that's really all I can say about this. He's sometimes called Goatman of Maryland, sometimes Goatman of George County. Pretty much, Goatman and the location he is seen at is very common, but there's really not a lot to go in with his name. So, Ryan, it is your turn to tell us a tale or two
All right.
about this fertile bastard. Okay.
So there are a lot of Goatman stories. Apparently, the Goatman's way more popular than you would think, so we're going to focus specifically on the Maryland Goatman, as Kimmy had previously mentioned. All right. This is one potential origin story. So the year was 1970 when a scientist at the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center found himself delving into more dubious practices. He was performing experiments on goats by attempting to fuse goat DNA with his own. However, as you could probably imagine, this did not go as planned. The experiment went south and ended up turning himself into a hideous creature with the upper body of a goat. Now, mad, he took to welding an axe, which he later used to damage cars. He supposedly still roams to the back roads of Beltsville. Because this legend gained such popularity in the news, the U.S. Agricultural Research Center in Beltsville, Maryland had to deny that this ever happened and said nothing more than a local legend's teen used to scare one another. or a cover-up.
Oh,
Dun, 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 dun. Exactly.
The best part is the fact that they had to say something.
Yeah. Yes, we got to get out ahead of this. The people know.
Because it was either like the people know or there were crazies coming through and they just couldn't afford the security to keep up with it
Yeah.
anymore. So that's like the thing I love the most. Ooh, I may have messed up the slides. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's fine. I fixed it.
Oh, cool.
So,
Beans.
our next story is the Maryland Goatman Prince George County sighting. Multiple sightings, sorry. So, during the late summer of 1957, a young couple drove to a dark wooded area just off the street in the Forestville Upper Marlborough area, which was, you guessed it, a local makeout spot for you young lovers. Do people still do that? Is that a thing? Like, makeout spot? I don't know.
I did. I did when I first started.
Yeah, well, like, I'm talking like 2022. But anyway,
Oh, yeah.
the two were startled by a loud banging on their car hood, and when they looked up, they saw a large, hairy, horned creature with a double-bladed axe glaring menacingly at the couple. The two panicked and fled into the woods. I personally would have stayed in my car.
Thank you. Because I think of this all the time.
Yeah. Put it in reverse, back up, drive, leave.
Well, the thing is, when you go to these like makeout spots, it's always a slight incline. So if you just take off the brake,
Yeah, you just start rolling.
you at least start rolling.
Yeah.
You can go backwards for a minute.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, he was only glaring menacingly at them. Like, they're just like, open the car, like, we gotta go.
Listen, I live in a city. Like, that means nothing.
You don't get out of your car. So, a few nights later, a married man and woman who lived nearby had witnessed the same beast digging through their trash before fleeing into the forest. The most famous encounter of the Goatman that really put him on the map took place during the autumn of 1971 in Prince George County. That night, April, a 16-year-old girl, was laying in bed as her new German Shepherd puppy Ginger rested outside. She was awakened by a strange noise followed by her puppy barking. When she looked out to the window, she saw a large, hairy creature walking up to her dog tied up outside. Terrified, the girl called for help. Two 20-year-olds, William Geen, who was living with her family, and the neighbor John Hayden, answered the call and were armed with nothing but baseball bats. They went outside and chased the creature into the woods, having to give a high-pitched squeal as they disappeared. When the boys came back, they walked towards the backyard to see if the puppy was okay. So, little animal trigger warning here. Sadly, though, it was just the head of the puppy with no body to be found. Poor puppy. Yeah. So news this quickly got out and resulted in journalists coming down a few days later to ask the boys about their tale. This story was then later published on November 30th of 1971 to the Washington Post. The article headlined, "A Legendary Figure Haunts Remote PR George's Woods." That's sad.
That one is sad. I forgot until you start. I heard Ginger Puppy and I was
It's like, oh no.
Oh no. Kudos to the two 20-year-olds that feel they could take on a literal demon with baseball bats, though. Like, if I want confidence, that's the confidence I want.
Yeah.
Because that is amazing to me. Like, fucking kudos to that. But the puppy thing is very sad.
Yeah. So continuing on, same sightings. So following these two encounters, members of the Upper Marlborough Fire Department and some local hunters organized a search of the area for this abominable phantom, but turned up nothing. Additional sightings were reported in the following weeks, but authorities eventually declared the whole thing a hoax.
Boo.
Cover up.
It's when they say it's a hoax, I don't believe it's a hoax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's when it's a cover up. A few years later, a couple were romantically involved in their car just off Zug Road in Huntington when they observed a peculiar creature staring at them from the edge of the woods. The woman described it as a tall, ragged animal with human-like features.
You know, the more we talk about this, what's the name of someone that enjoys watching? Because that's what I think.
A voyeur.
A voyeur, yeah. That's what
Goatman's
the
a voyeur.
Goatman is.
The Goatman is coming.
The voyeur Goatman is coming. Oh, that's a 10 out of 10 dialogue right there. That needs to be on a shirt.
Yeah.
Listen,
Just the Goatman
TM.
with some binoculars.
Yes. I want to do it so his little tail is wagging.
Yeah.
Has a little like wagging.
Oh no.
Oh, check out the merch shop, everybody. Okay, sorry.
So, for decades, eyewitnesses have reported seeing a fearsome creature described as half man, half goat in several localities of Prince George's County, Maryland. Strange footprints, home invasions, property destruction, animal mutilation, missing children, and unexplained car accidents have all been blamed on the Goatman. Now, you guys ready to see a photo that is really going to piss me off? Wow. And I don't know if you guys can read it. This is 2016. In 2016, I had an iPhone 8. That thing took amazing photos. All right.
I only put that there for you.
You knew.
I saw this photo and I was like, you know who is going to love this
What
one?
does that name say? Ryan Davis?
Oh, yeah.
Do better. Do better, Ryan Davis. So, good thing I'm out in the woods for my film photography project in 2016. All right. So, this creature here was known to roam around the U.S., though... Oh, sorry. Around the U.S., though in here... Oh, around the U.S. Here are a few encounters people had with a goat-like creature. April 1971. A farmer near Fletchertown Road in Huntington reported seeing a large man-like creature and eating the remains of a pig. Ew. 1973. A man driving along Route 32 reportedly saw a huge beast with 2 legs and glowing eyes. A few years later, a woman reported seeing the same beast crossing the road in front of her on Route 198 and stepping over the guardrail only to disappear into the night. She described it as a grayish-brown, rounded-shouldered animal with reflective red eyes. 1977, a NASA engineer witnessed a Bigfoot-type creature tossing a dog onto the road on the I-95 and Powder Mill Road in Beltsville. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, there were numerous reports of the Goatman attacking cars, dogs, and even throwing dogs off the overpass along stretches of Interstate 495. You know, maybe the Goatman's not that chill.
I shouldn't laugh, but I can hear the sound of the bar going...
The most recent sighting is from the 2000s, when a group of construction workers claimed to have come face to face with a 300-pound, 7-foot-tall furry creature that had 2 legs, hooves, and horns of a goat, but the upper body of a man. That's not this photo, right? No.
No. That isn't this photo.
This is clearly not a upper body of a man.
Well, like, I don't know if it's just you, but whenever I hear the description, an upper body of a man, I, like, imagine it to be very fit.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Like, that doesn't make sense. It means
most, like,
don't
statues and drawings, they always are.
Fair. That's fair. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why. It's my the art historian in me like connects.
It's ingrained in the culture. I mean, if you're a goat man running around the woods all day, you're probably gonna have a pretty good core.
Well, fair, yeah, because it's all sexy time for the goat man.
Just
you know
constantly.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Working on his fitness.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be his witness.
No,
Okay.
he's gonna witness you though. So far, the Goatman is believed to be responsible for the death of 15 people, along with a number of dogs and missing children. Survivors of the Goatman say that he hacks his victim to pieces while making weird sounds. When authorities come to the scene, all they find is the lifeless body that has been decapitated. There are many other encounters of this creature that have been recorded throughout Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Florida, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Missouri, Oregon, Washington, and don't think you're safe, Canada, Ontario, Canada is also on this list. It's clear the Goatman isn't shy, and he knows how to cause a commotion. You know what wasn't on that list is my state, so
You feel a little safer
get
today?
shit on, nerds.
Aren't you in Nevada with all the weird alien stuff?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, And we share that border with Arizona and California, so he's got to pass through somewhere. Hopefully, it's not us.
It's only for a second. It's that little corner piece. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's the only time he enters Nevada.
Yeah. Well, I'm
making
fine.
his way through.
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good. It's a big state, big empty state.
Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah.
Well, while the Goatman's traveling, we're going to take a quick commercial break and hear a word from our sponsors.
Guess what? I'm the sponsor. So Kimmy decided to show off the Slenderman summer collection here, which is just fantastic. We got mugs. We got what's the word I'm looking for? Notebook. Because who doesn't need that when you go out in the woods and you want to take notes? You know what else we got that's not pictured here is the MILF Mothman. The MILF. God, that is hard to say. MILF Mothman t-shirt. If you want to show your love for everyone's favorite MILF, check out our store. Get some stickers. It helps the show. It helps us. One day we'll be able to pay our editor. Shout out, Chris. Yeah. You got anything to say? You've been making so much stuff.
Holy shit! I have been drawing so much merch stuff. I found a file on my computer called Weird Merch Ideas with a Z and a like. I was like, what is this file? And I opened it and God spoke to me. There's just
so many half-made designs in there.
So many, and I can never pick on a damn color.
Yeah.
So now it's been great. We have been posting on our social media, Tickety Talk, and good old Instagram, some pools, and you guys have been voting on it, and those designs are popping in the shop left and right, and I have made everything that has gone in the shop, and Ryan texts me ideas or funny sayings that I incorporate into them, and it's beautiful chaos. So, yeah, check it out. Get some of our cool merch swag. Patreons, you get a discount. Don't be afraid to use that discount because you're already supporting us.
Please use that discount.
So easy. And listen. What I would do if you guys could use Aloreing merch hashtags or Team Cryptid or Team Folklore wearing our stuff or putting it on your computer or something, you would make my heart weep with joy. Just weep. So check it out. Check it out. That's all I got. Just go to Aloreing.com, click on shop. It's all there for you. It's safe. It's good. It will treat you right. I promise you.
Your friends will 100% be jealous of your
be the cooler kid.
Every time I wear one of my Aloreing short shirts to work or just out, people always say, dang, that's a cool shirt. And I'm like, well, you can go get your own right now.
Yeah, and listen, you're not a shirt person like me? We got totes. We got mugs. We got notebooks. We got stickers.
Lots of stickers.
We got scrunchies now. We got scrunchies up in there. We got everything. Okay, that's all we got.
That's
we
all
can
we
go
got.
back to the show now.
So let's get to the show.
Okay. All right, welcome back, campers. This Goatman. Listen,
That's my Goatman.
This is in the Cryptid Smash or Pash videos we did as a bonus because look at him. And the more I look at it, he kind of looks like Edgar. That's why it's so cute. Do you see it?
I don't know about that one.
No, because the hair. Just look at the hair and the nose.
I think you're projecting a little bit onto Goatman.
No, because it's the nose and the hair. Let me dream. Okay, so for appearance, when we say Goatman, he appears to be built like a human covered in fur with a goat head and hair covering every inch of him. So his lower body is more goat-like with goat legs, and this bipedal creature stands at about 6 feet tall. So 1.8 meters for our international listeners. Its eyes also glow a blazing red and is known to cause immediate fear to anyone who looks into them. So now the appearance of the ghost man may vary a little bit, but pretty much Goatman. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But listen,
the name describes the look.
It's so straightforward, which is very refreshing. But the thing is, boy knows how to accessorize. Legend specifically from Maryland says he is seen carrying around a handy-dandy axe. So, for murdering and stuff.
Yeah.
So, the Goatman is not the fuzzy cutie you see at your local fairground petting zoo, though. This chaotic human goat is known to love hacking up teenagers' dogs and letting out a shrill goat-like scream before raging. He runs in, attacks, and will drag his victim back into the dark forest with him never to be seen again. So there are some theories that he is nothing more than an ornery old hermit that wishes to be left alone and just goes ballistic whenever someone steps on his property.
Fair enough.
So I think what we should take from this is if you're going to make a goat D&D character, make it barbarian? Is that the one that rages?
Yeah.
But goat barbarian character.
That'd actually be a sick character.
What would the shrill sound like before battle? Before raging? What would that be?
My throat hurts a little bit right now, but I'm gonna try my best. Like a...
I'm just gonna leave him. I'm not even gonna say what I want to say. Just leave him.
I was trying to do Goat Man.
I thought you were
man.
that. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be that's what I thought you were gonna do, and you had a whole moment there.
It'd be too simple.
Too simple. Had to spice it up.
Yeah.
So now being a raging ball of chaos that makes a weird sound as he enters battle. He also has some other things he likes to do. So his top thing is to destroy a vehicle. Now if you're going Goatman hunting, the favorite. So if you're going Goatman hunting, I'll advise you get some pretty good car insurance. This creature is known to throw rocks at windows, jump on hoods, slash tires, and destroy the vehicle with his axe. And the worst part, while you're panicked and on hold with your insurance company, he will drag you out of the car into the woods, never to be seen again.
It'll be a funny video. Those old Allstate commercials? State Farm, sorry. A good neighbor, State Farm is there, and then the insurance adjuster appears. They do it and he appears and the Goatman's just sitting there beating the shit out of the car.
Idea, if we have time, TMing it right now. We do that with the Goatman shirt I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
This is the Goatman is coming.
Goatman is coming.
And when he appears, he has that shirt on.
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh, we'll get onto it. One day when we have the budget, the shit we will make will be glorious.
Somebody listening, please make that. That'd be so funny.
Please make it. Call us. We will guest star in it. We will be there for you, 100%. The last thing about him is he is a romantic, so he specifically targets young lovers that drive their cars out into the abandoned parts of the wood.
She's trying to spice it up.
Just, just that little adrenaline rush for
Yeah.
it. So, I want to tell you the story about the real Goatman. So, no fake news here. There was a man by the name of Ches McCartney from Sigourney, Iowa?
Sigourney?
I said that wrong.
Sigourney, Iowa.
Yep, that
Maybe.
sound more
I don't know.
country, so that sounded right.
Sigourney, Iowa.
There we go.
Love traveling.
Over the country between the 1930s to 1987 in a wagon pulled by a team of goats. Due to a tragic timber accident, his left arm was mangled and disfigured, so he had to start dressing in goat skins. This
What?
gave him the nickname Goatman,
What?
and as he traveled to all 50 states. So he was quite the celebrity and would camp in the farms along the road, telling tales of the Goatman and selling postcards with his picture on them, especially traveling to Public multiple times on his travels. So many love to hear the wild stories from this long-bearded hillbilly, and whenever he would come to town, words of the Goatman would spread amongst the local children. And the more story was told, the more exaggerated it become, and it could explain why there's two different versions of the tale we know today. So, like, this guy was just like an absolute gem, and people just loved him. He just would come into town, tell his goat stories, and peace. And I love everything about that.
That's too pure.
Yeah, he was a good heart. I think he has sadly passed away. I can't remember.
Yeah, I imagine.
But everyone loved him, and I just like want to make that super clear. Like, if I could be an old like woman that travels from village to village telling stories with a herd of rabbits, I would have made it. So I love it so much. So now, you may be wondering, was he the source of the Goatman legends, or was there something more macabre behind the scenes? So, there is a more paranormal theory explaining the malicious Goatman roaming the U.S. We normally don't talk about paranormal, but these were so tied together, I feel we have to bring it up. So, don't worry, I'm doing blessing spells on us for this next month. So we are good. So there once was a man named Jack who adored his pet goats. They were the light of his life, and he took great care of them. However, as much as the goats loved Jack, the locals were not a fan of this creepy, antisocial goat man. One night, some of the local teenagers came to harass him, leading to what was assumed to be a tragic demise for poor Jack and his goats. Which is a dick move. Leave the man alone. Like, I get being a teenager and wanting to cause chaos. You don't gotta be mean to people.
Yeah.
Just go be stupid amongst yourself.
Yeah, harass each other.
Right. Makes for great memories.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't long until word got out about something happening to Jack, and the deputies came to investigate, but they were unable to locate him or his goats.
Oh, no.
So it's sad. Like, this bummed me out. So a couple weeks passed, and people forgot about Jack because they're jerks. And this is until they started hearing odd noises from under the bridge and smelling a very foul odor in the air. Some deputies were sent to investigate the bridge later that evening, and while there, they saw a tail, phantom-like creature with red eyes, holding the head of Jack's favorite goat and Jack's body.
Oh, my.
So that's like the spooky story that they'll tell amongst locals. So to this day, many of them believe the bridge is haunted by Jack the Goatman. Local legends even say if you park your car on the bridge, turn off all the lights, and honk your horn 3 times, he will appear. So the Goatman is known particularly to hang out around Governor's Bridge in Davidson, MD. I was never good at geography, so I don't know what state that is. What's the
Maryland?
Maryland? Weird. Okay. So Governor's Bridge is also known as Crybaby Bridge because of another tale about a mother who threw her baby over the bridge, and people who crossed that bridge would hear a ghostly sound of a baby crying. So some have said they have seen a creature wielding an axe called the Bunny Man near Fairfax County, known as Bunny Man Bridge. So this like whole area, there's a ghost bridge.
Yeah.
Something of one of these things is happening here.
There's a really funny but also insightful video that BuzzFeed made where they you just look up BuzzFeed unsolved Goatman Bridge, and it's so funny. But they also talk about they go a little more into this bridge, and they dance on the Goatman's Bridge, which is a big no.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I love that video. That video years
Dancing
ago
on your
was
bridge,
actually
Goatman.
yes, and it got me into like looking up cryptid stuff.
Yeah.
And I was watching it recently for this episode, and I was like, if Ryan knew nothing and I just said this bridge was haunted by a goat man, I would be the one guy that's completely scared, and you'd be the other guy that's like, I'm stepping on your bridge, goat
Yeah.
man. So it made me laugh because I saw that for a second. And then if I told you the story, you'd be like, excuse me?
I was like, as he starts dancing, he's like, bro, he's coming. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah.
I love it. They are amazing. They crack me up.
Mm-hmm.
Woo. Okay, now, so to the next segment. This picture. I always try to find the sources to put at the bottom. I couldn't find a source. The only thing I could find is like there was a religion sex comic.
That's
And that's all.
fantastic.
So please enjoy the peeping goat man of Mary Lou.
I have such a good meme for this.
What is it?
You'll see. I'll send it to you immediately. It's gonna take me like 2 seconds to make.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll tell the story. So the image relates to my segment. So now, if there's one thing that the Goatman loves, it's definitely teenage dirtbags. Young couples were known to drive out to some deserted road on a local spot referred to as Lover's Lane, probably because it was a small town and experimenting with exhibitionism was one of the only things to do besides throwing rocks in a local creek or attend a local mediocre football game. So that being said, the Goatman doesn't like teens coming into his territory to get intimate and would attack any cars parked in the area and drag a teenager deep into the woods, never to be seen again. So a reason why the Goatman targets young lovers has to do with his connection to fertility, which is what we talked about at the top of the episode. So it's believed that the teenage hormones and sex pheromones act as a beacon that lead the Goatman straight to them. So that was I just think that's like super interesting. And then if you go to this next slide, though
See,
terrifying,
that's a photo right there.
yeah, that's spooky. Oh, my cryptid teenager photo. I probably put things out of order. I really tried to organize this time. So though terrifying, this legend quickly became popular amongst the local teens. For generations, teenagers had been frightened by this cautionary terror of a shadowy being that haunts the secluded wooded areas of the outskirts of town. But remember, it is a small town, so if there's something spooky in the woods nearby, it's going to lead to some good old cryptid hunting. So during peak sightings, students of Roosevelt High School would go goatman hunting to search for the monster deep in the forest at night. The local teams would become obsessed and would throw goatman parties on Fletchertown Road near Crybaby Bridge, having one of the most memorable parties be on. What did you just put up? I am sorry. I'm not even gonna acknowledge it. So having the most memorable during Halloween night of 1979, when many believe they saw the Ghostman firsthand. I'm unsure if they still do it to this very day. So if you're in the area, let us know. Now back to that meme you just showed me. I can't explain it, but it has the same energy of Utah swingers. And that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
Right? Just need a pineapple in there somewhere, and then you've got all the bases.
But yeah, Goatman does not consent. That's what this one reminded me of.
I do want to make a meme of the other one too. Oh god, the memes this episode, I'm not emotionally ready for. All right. Okay, now speaking of weird consent, let's talk about our favorite segment, Ryan. It is time for Is It Science or the Church?
This week seems obvious. I'm going to go with the church just because, devil horns with the Goatman and consensual adult time being a big part of it.
Yeah. No. Listen, Ryan, you have been doing so good. You deserve the sound of celebration.
I'm gonna sell 2 for that one. All right.
You gotta enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah,
right?
maybe one more.
Oh, okay. So now, as you all know, I will take that soundboard away.
Right.
Now, you may be surprised, but if there is a goat demon with tons of sexual energy, the church is going to have a say about it. So it is believed that the Goatman may in fact be the devil himself, or one of the devil's more powerful minions let loose on Earth to cause havoc and torment mankind in its final days. So, in the Judaism book of Enoch, I said that wrong, the leader of Watchers is Azazel, and the fallen angels around him are referred to as Serim, or he-goats. These goat demons walk the earth at night, lusting after women and spreading sin amongst men. In the gospel, Jesus went as far as comparing sinners to goats. So there are also many similarities between goats and the terrifying Baphomet, a figure often aligned with Satanism or dark occult practices. What was that?
You haven't heard the TikTok sound?
No, I haven't heard.
I'll explain it after. There's going to be a small segment of our audience that thinks that's the funniest shit they've ever heard.
If we can get one person make their day a little bit better at that sound, that's all I could ask for. So, for them, the Goatman is a sign of impending battle of Armageddon, that he may be the Antichrist himself, and that his unholy existence is proof that the end of the world is already upon us, since the one with cloven feet and the double horns already walks amongst us. And you know what? And if 2020 wasn't a sign, Goatman could be a really good one for that too. So now, by the turn of the 11th century, depictions of the demon and devil figures started to take on goatish features, usually appearing naked and hairy to symbolize sexuality, wildness, and like animal prowls or whatever. So this had goats become a common symbol for sin that is seen today. So I think that's interesting. Just like as a whole thing, I don't know. I've seen some weird stuff with demon goats, so I have no doubt about it. But that's just personal stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So now, knowing all about this terrifying horny goat, I'm going to hand over to Ryan for modern takes, because I got nothing more to say about him. Oh, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. Ryan.
So there's a couple fun things. There's a lot of Goatman stuff out there.
Oh my god. I feel so bad for laughing.
Where were we? Here we are. Modern takes. I don't have a slide, so I'm going to leave it on this one.
Okay.
So, there's a documentary from 2013 called The Legend of the Goatman, Horrifying Monsters, Cryptids, and Ghosts, from 2013. There's a movie titled Jimmy Tupper versus the Goatman from about 3 years ago. There's a game currently on Steam called The Goatman, where you and a friend go hunt the Goatman, which I'm going to force Kimmy to play. It looks like a horror game, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Kimmy actually found, like, buried deep in the internet, there's a Goatman, like, Western game coming out. What was it called again? I forgot to write it down.
Ooh. Oh, fuck. It was The Goatman is Nigh.
Yeah, the Goatman is Nigh, which she actually reached out to the developer, and oh yeah, the link's right here. And he said it's going to come out hopefully Halloween of next year, so a bit of time. But yeah, no, there's almost too much Goatman stuff out there. Yeah, I don't know if too much is the right word, but that's what I got.
Well, the cool thing with that game, the reason the game caught my attention is one of the main female protagonists in their concept art has red hair. So I was like, yes, as a personal thing.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very sweet they reached back out because I was like, oh, we want to talk about your game.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
super sick.
tell us
We could
about
probably
it.
put the link in our show notes, right?
Yeah, they have a website. They said they're working on it right now. They were really sweet in the email.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were just gems. So
Yeah.
like I don't
And
know. I like checking out these indie games about cryptids. Like I feel there's a lot of games that are like the Bigfoot style one we play where you're like first person shooter. So it's nice to see like
actual like story driven ones.
right. And this one's based off the story of the what's it called? The Hogs Road one is where this one takes place. So that's why it's all westerny and stuff. Just from like the little they have on their site from it, but yeah there's just
so everyone set a reminder on your phone. Halloween 2023. Goatman is Nigh.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, cool. We do have some announcements this episode, right? Before we jump to our alignment chart.
Yeah, the lore report or whatever. We'll figure out the name one day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's only been 31 a little more than 31 episodes with bonus episodes, I guess. We got time.
Once we hit 50, that's when we really need to feel like we should organize.
Yeah, right now we're still walking,
Yeah, we crawling.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I'm dragging myself after a night of drinking. That's what's going on over here.
Kimmy, it's Thursday. Anyway. So by the time this episode comes out, you may have noticed our Discord channel is looking quite a bit different, because we're expanding to be the Aloreing network. So not only will you have access to this podcast, but our other shows will be there as well. So if you haven't seen it or want to check it out, go to our website today and click the little Discord link on the homepage.
Boop. Yeah, do it. Join, because you know what? We talk about cryptids. We share folklore cryptid art. We post episode updates. And you know what? It's just a great place to get your Aloreing news. Plus, listen, we love when you share cryptid and folklore memes. So much. So it's a great way for you to share that, or cryptid or folklore art you made, or like the Ryan show coming out, maybe you have like a story you want to share with us or something. Like that is the place to do it. Is you go there, you join, and you can chat with us there, which is just like super cool. And then you meet other people that are also into these cool things, and you guys can all be the coolest hipsters together. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, it's where you want to be at.
Yeah.
'Tis the online spot.
Yeah, so going off of what I previously said, the Aloreing Network, we do have 2 shows coming soon. One still in the works. The other one, which I will be hosting, is called Creepy Camper, which is going to be a spooky story, maybe some true crime. Basically, we're just going to go a little more into creepy stuff that we're a little too afraid to get into on the Aloreing. We have some fan-submitted stuff that was submitted to this show that we're going to start our episodes off with on the Creepy Camper podcast. But yeah, ghost sightings, like cryptid attacks that actually happened to like our listeners and stuff, all that fun stuff that makes you not want to sleep is going to be on the Creepy Camper podcast.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear your intro music for it too.
Oh man. Yeah, I've been trying. So this episode comes out on the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first episode of Creepy Camper is hopefully, assuming I finish, because I've been putting a lot of work into my intro thing and it's taken a lot longer than I thought. But I'm shooting for Sunday, the 25th of this month, so that there's 2 episodes out by the time Halloween hits. It's going to start out bi-weekly like Aloreing in the off weeks, but hopefully we can get it weekly.
Yeah. And we can do that with your support. And speaking of support, we got some really cool updates over on Patreon. Patreons, I have heard your cries, I've heard your beckons in the wind, and your pleads for you all to have a voice in our episode topics. And now it is so. If you are on Patreon, regardless of what tier you're on, you can vote for our future episode topics. So I'll be putting them, I'll say if it's folklore or cryptid, I give you guys a good handful to pick from. I'll sometimes do it if it's seasonal or if it's holiday themed. I got you. But now you get to vote. And I'm just like so excited because now there's so much. There's so many legends and so many cryptids. And I want you guys to tell me what I should look at and what I should research and what Ryan and I should talk about. So
yep.
I'm super excited for this change.
Yeah, and going off that, the tiers have been changed up a little bit. So there's going to be 2 new tiers, the Cryptid Campsite and the Folklore Campsite, which is great. So depending on which one you sign up for is going to be like the type of stuff you get. So if you're more into cryptids, you want to sign up for the Cryptid Campsite. If you sign up for the Folklore Campsite, you'll get folklore-inspired downloadables.
Ooh, and then there's a special tier where you can get access to both of them, and you get a cool little welcome package by yours truly. And then we have some other higher tiers, and we have a lower tier. So you can get access to a lot of stuff, and in the welcome package, you get like a cool... I don't have it like a fool, but I will explain it because we have audio listeners. I made like a cool little Aloreing membership card that you can flash like when you go to the club and you don't have your ID, so you can at least feel cool as you're not allowed to enter, but you'll feel cool. It has like reflective material on the back. It's fancy. We got stickers. I will send you a sticker or print of something that brings you joy that I have illustrated for the podcast, and you can get like a little album sticker, a Mothman, or a signed print. So you get goodies for helping support us because I want to give you stuff because I love to give gifts to people that love our show. So it works out for all of us. So if you are loving the show, you want to support us, become a Patreon today. You'll get to choose what we discuss in future episodes, get some exclusive goodies not sold anywhere else, behind the scenes, and just a whole bunch of fun stuff. So what are you waiting for? Go to patreon.com/Aloreing today and join. Become a camper, an official Aloreing camper today. All right. Woo! I'm so curious what you put for this. Ryan.
Well, so I was going to put it here to mess with you because I was going to be like, oh, because he's hot. But no, hot. He killed the dog. So he goes. Because I have morals, Kimmy.
Wow, just take a shot to me, right, don't you? Twist the knife while you're back there. Listen, the only reason I put him a little bit up from chaotic and a little bit in from evil is because there is the possibility he just doesn't like teenagers fucking on his land. And I respect that.
But he also, in my stories, he just went into someone's yard and just murked their dog.
Yeah.
And has been seen just throwing dogs off of overpasses.
Listen, this is the point of this is you do yours based off your sightings, right?
Yeah.
And I do mine based off the history.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come in here like he is evil from everything in my sightings, I will not disagree. Do not hurt the pups. They are sweet baby angels that must be protected. But in my story, he was just a horny guy didn't want teenagers on his lawn.
Fair enough.
So I feel, based off my judgment from my segment, I'm completely in the right. But after what you've told me, I would agree that he is definitely in that bottom.
Yeah, no, dude's a dick.
So I agree with you. I was right, and then your information made me sway a little bit more.
Yeah.
So for all those people that are I can't with that meme. For all those people that are like, Kimmy, you're being too lenient. No, I'm not, because I'm pure history girl. And then we come to an agreement on kind of the balance of everything, if that makes sense. That's how this works.
You did the history of Ya Llorona. One of your history things was her drowning a child. And you put them lawful good.
Listen.
So
we all make mistakes. And we all are constantly learning. And I still may forgive her for a lot that she has done. And that is not what this episode is about.
We should do a corrections episode. Like an episode like we've cooled down. We've had time to go back and think over our alignment charts.
Can that be our anniversary episode?
Yeah, that'd be a great one.
So we just go. We do like a little fundraiser or like a like cryptid poem reading, and that's what we do between the segments. Reevaluate.
Correct all of our Aloreing alignment charts.
I'm fine with that. Write that down. Counselor Mothman. Write that down. That's what he sounds like. Okay. What are our takeaways?
The Goatman do be coming.
And he be watching.
He be one. Yeah. Yeah, straight up. So the Goatman's a voyeur. That's my actual takeaway.
The Goatman is a voyeur, and man, let me think. Let me think about this for a moment. Wow, I feel like that just really sums it up. But we need to.
I mean, the Goatman be coming, and the Goatman's a voyeur.
Yeah. That's it. The Goatman be coming, and the Goatman is a voyeur. Woo! All right. This episode did not go anywhere I expected it to. I thought this would be really spooky for Halloween, and This was just pure...
They never do.
Pure kids. Woo! Well, we hope you all enjoyed this chaotic episode. Thank you so much for listening. This has been Aloreing.
Have an Aloreing day. If you're making out in your car, watch out for the Goatman, and we'll catch you in the next episode.
Wrap it before you tap it.
Bye.